Welcome my dudes to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and we are here on the Season 2 patch of Age of Empires 4. Spawning in the east side of the map, in the colour yellow, we have Crackety here, who's going to be playing the Holy Roman Empire for us. And I thought I would cast this game today, because the Holy Roman Empire have had some absolutely huge changes to them in this season. So we're going to be keeping an eye on the civilization as the game goes on. Spawning in the west side of the map, we have Nest of B, and they're going to be playing the Abbasid dynasty. They've not had too many changes, but they've had a few little buffs here and there, such as like the Golden Age improvement. So we're going to be keeping an eye on them as well. But we can also see, look at this, look at these nice colours. That's right, the colour picker is now here, so we can all pick some nice fancy colours that aren't just blue and red. We're on the map King of the Hill. This is going to be a brand new map inside of the ranked ladder. I'm going to be honest, I love this map. Lots of people don't like it, but I think it's really cool. I love the playstyle with capturing the sacred site, but I understand that some people don't like it. Anyway, we also have the new panoramic view, which in my opinion is just 10 out of 10. I mean, I love that it's slightly more bird's eye view. I love that I can zoom up further and see stuff. It's great. I love it. Anyway, we're going to be keeping an eye on the Holy Roman Empire because they have some absolutely huge changes here. I mean, like, Holy Roman Empire and Abbasid have both been really low down on the ladder since release, to be honest, especially the poor Abbasid dynasty. They've never had a moment to shine. The Holy Roman Empire a little bit at the beginning, they were doing quite well with their fast castle, with the 3 relics and regnants, and that was absolutely broken if you got 3 relics, but, you know, surviving to get 3 relics, that's a different story. Whereas poor Abbasid over here, they've never had an opportunity to shine. So we'll have to see if this patch finally gives them an opportunity to do so. But not too many changes. I mean, we've got some like House of Wisdom buffs. We got like a mill radius buff. I doubt that will really affect much, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So Nesta B over here, gonna be placing down that lumber camp now. And we can see Crackety has enough to age up, and look what we have here: Ark and Chapel on the wood line. That is right. Now, you may be thinking, why is Crackety placing it on the wood line? Well, this is a brand new change in Season 2. The Ark and Chapel now acts as a drop-off building to everything, which means you can chop wood, you can gather sheep, you can gather berries, you can place farms around it, and it acts as a drop-off site, which means placing this prelate inside is going to be super good because you can just influence everything around here. And you know, you don't have to place down a lumber camp, no mill. So that's a really nice change. Definitely a bit of a, I wouldn't say a huge buff, but it's one of those nice things you don't have to worry about. I would say a slight buff. And also another thing here, as a prelate or any sort of religious unit, heals. Actually no, it's just the prelate, because the prelate's the only one that can inspire. It can heal and inspire now at the same time. So this isn't really a big deal. Because look, these 4 villagers are still inspired up and they're being healed at the same time. So absolutely huge there for the Holy Roman Empire. Another small buff. You know, it's not huge at all, but it's still one of those things that's going to really help out. See, those 2 scouts not really finding a lot of value right there. Prelate now moving over here. He's going to jump inside of that Ark and Chapel as soon as it's done being built, and we can see Nesta B, he's aging up with the economic wing as normal. Very rare to see anything else coming out of the Abbasid dynasty, especially as we've seen no changes to any of their wings, although they are slightly faster techs now. So fresh foodstuffs is going to be able to come in 30 seconds earlier, which is a nice little buff again. 30 seconds, I mean, that's like what, 1.5 villagers faster? So, I mean, you're going to be saving, what, 25 food? It's not too much, but, you know, every little counts. And it goes throughout the ages as well. So like, you know, 1 minute, 45 seconds. It all helps out. It all helps out. Anyway, over here, Crackety, look at this. This is what we like to see. That is amazing. Like, that's 100 wood right there saved. 100 wood, and it may not sound a lot. Oh, it's only 100 wood. But at this top level of play, 100 wood's quite a lot. And especially how much time it saves, you can just chuck the prelate in there. And this also helps out late game with the Holy Roman Empire. Because you don't need to have a mill here, you know, farms around it. You're using up valuable space. You can literally just stick a ton of farms around it and leave it. We can see over here, Crackety doing weird stuff with the ball. Not really sure what he's doing over there. But it seems like Nestaby is going to be going for this second town centre. We see all Abbasid players doing. And we see also Crackety's going to be going for a second town centre as well. Interesting. So it looks like he wants to match Nestaby. He knows that Nestaby is going to be going for that second town centre. And he wants to keep up in villager production. However, for the Abbasid dynasty, they have the 50% discount on these villagers. So technically, Nestaby is going to be in an advantage right here, because he does have the villager discount. However, Crackety does have this up. You know, these are lots of inspired villagers right here. They're going to be doing lots of work. We see Crackety's also going to be going for that second town centre on the deer. So pretty much mirroring each other right now. Crackety might be looking for a fast castle right here. He needs to get some more villagers on food if that is the case, but he's got a ton of gold already stacked up. Nestaby needs to be careful with his scouts right here to make sure he doesn't want to lose them. Is Nestaby going to be going for a third town centre here, or is this going to be for emplacements? I mean, I'm sure there'll be a few more villagers than 2 if that was the case. But ooh, Crackety going to be going for that third town centre. Interesting. Okay, we also have some villagers being pulled here for Nestaby. So Nestaby is going to be using this stone he's collecting for some emplacements. Emplacements have been nerfed, so they're not going to be as powerful as they once were, but definitely still a potent threat. We now see some villas being pulled for Crackety, looking to take care of these villagers. A horseman is out for Crackety as well. Crackety going to be losing a scout there to the wolf. These villagers are going to be able to get up this outpost, I'm pretty sure. Actually, maybe not. 2 villagers left. It gets cancelled. Nestaby's out of there. Crackety doing a really good job there, bringing along the prelate as well. Quite a few horsemen out as well. So definitely poor right there for Nestaby. They're on the same amount of villagers right now. And Nestaby is going to be looting. Ooh, or not. Interesting that Crackety decides to back out there. He could have taken that villager, but decides not to. And we now see Crackety's going to be going for that third town centre. It's all the way on the south over here. Okay, interesting. We don't often see this. Usually on King of the Hill, we often see the third town centre placed up here. Or like, you know, the second town centre over here or something. We don't often see them being so spread out. I mean, it works, but it definitely leaves yourself spread out. And that can be a problem when it comes to an opponent pushing into your base. And, like, this town centre or this town centre could be very easily focused down, which could be a problem for Crackety. So we'll have to keep an eye out there, see what he decides to do. We see Nestaby is going to be sticking with that 2 town centre. He's got 150 stone in the bank. Maybe it would be worth just gathering up a little bit more stone for that third town centre, especially as he spots out this third town centre coming down from Crackety. Crackety manages to clear up the scouts. We see it looks like Nestaby's going to be looking for that age 3 now, producing some spears, probably just to keep these horsemen in check. Let's check in with Crackety, see what his resource count's looking like. He's got a ton of wood in the bank right now. And look at this. Look at these farms. Really nice here. I really like these changes to the Holy Roman Empire. Now we see 3 barracks coming down for Crackety. Maybe looking to go into some early men-at-arms. Would be definitely nice in this situation. Abbasid don't really have many answers to men-at-arms, especially in this age. It does seem like Nestaby's... I mean, his macro is confusing me. It looks like he's going to go for a castle age, but then it doesn't. He's floating quite a bit of resources, which he either needs to commit to age 2 or he needs to go age 3. I don't like the amount of floating that's going on at the moment. We do see Crackley's horseman going to be moving in again. One Vil going to be going to... Oh, manages to escape. Back into the town centre. One horseman does go down over there. The amount of idle time Crackley's doing here is... He's doing an amazing job. Even though he's not killing the villagers, that's fine. That's been like 8 villagers idle for ages. Which, you know, is still decent. We now see a ram coming down for Nestaby. This is not a substantial army to be doing this. Although Crackety doesn't really have a lot at the moment. But he does have 2 barracks and a stable down at the moment. Maybe looking to go for the Burgrave, possibly? Can now age up. Let's see what he decides to go with. Going with the Regnant's Cathedral. Nice. Okay, so this is another massive change to the Holy Roman Empire. You can now see the Regnants. Look at this. 0 out of 3 relics. That is right. The Regnants can now hold 3 relics yet again. However, it works slightly different than before. You can read here, acts as a monastery, all relics generate plus 100% gold while garrisoned. So it basically means 1 relic is worth 2 in every single religious building that the Holy Roman Empire have. So, putting stuff in the Regnants, no. Don't put your relics in the Regnants. Don't put them in the Regnants. Because putting them in the Regnants is a waste of space. Because it actually does nothing. Putting them in here is like putting them in a monastery. Building the landmark gives you this cool ability. You don't need to keep them in the Regnants. Build outposts, build keeps, put your relics in there, because you still get the same amount of gold as if it was in the Regnant's Cathedral. Except, in a tower, Wallalo going off, Crackly managing to escape. Putting them in, anyway, back to the relics. Putting them in an outpost, they do so much more damage. And there's really no reason not to. But definitely troubling here for Crackly. Crackly does have a 10 villager lead, but he might be completely losing this in a minute when this town centre goes down. Another relic coming in now. Surprised Crackly didn't put that relic in here. Getting the fortified outpost plus the springled emplacement. You know, this would be doing some mega damage right here. Emergency repairs coming out on this town centre, but it is still going to be going down, and that's going to be some villagers lost. Definitely not what you want to see coming from Crackly right here. Crackly's still not building much of an army. He's got 2 spearmen and a men-at-arms out at the moment, and 1 singular horseman. He definitely needs to build a bit more of a force. More men-at-arms and a Landsknecht coming out. Landsknecht will be a very good unit in this position. He just needs a few more. Let's see how much damage this Landsknecht does. Not a lot. Definitely needs to build up a bit of a mass. This could be really bad for Crackety. Crackety losing so many villagers right here. Let's have a look at the build count. So Nestaby is now ahead, despite him sticking to 2 town centres. So many vills being lost. More barracks are going down for Crackety. But this is not looking good at all. Town centre fire is definitely going to help out, but Crackety's losing so many villagers right here. He does have two relics inside of the Regnants. Again, don't put them in the Regnants. The Regnants is a useless landmark now. I mean, it's not a useless landmark. It's good because it gives you the boost. But you don't need to stick any relics inside of it. Crackety doing a decent job here. The Landsknechts and the Men-at-Arms really doing a good job here, especially with the town centre fire helping out. But look at the build difference right now. Nestaby is way ahead in builds. However, Crackety does have four relics worth at the moment. And Nestaby's army has been cleaned up. But don't forget, Crackety is still an age ahead. Nestaby is finally going to be able to age up, but he lost a lot of tempo there. His army's been cleaned up. So it might be looking a little bit more even now, especially if Crackety is able to take some Vil kills of his own. But saying that, that's going to be hard with all of these palisade walls coming down from Nesta B, that's for sure. And more villagers going down here for Crackety. Crackety, no. No. He does have textiles upgrading, so that's, you're not going to be losing as many builds, but definitely not what you want at all. Landsknecht going to be doing some good damage here. Is it going to be enough though? It seems like it is. And then these villagers going to be able to hop into that town centre. And then this army should be able to be cleaned up. But imagine if right, tower here, tower here, tower here or something. Put your relics in the towers, fortify them. I promise you, the amount of damage they would do would be insane. And you're not losing anything. You would lose absolutely nothing. Because you still get 100 gold while garrisoned. Because the Regnance acts as a monastery. It doesn't act like it did before. So this is definitely something players are going to have to learn when playing with the Holy Roman Empire. Definitely a big change right there. Crackety really just pushing lots of men-at-arms right, not men-at-arms, sorry. Landsknechts at the moment. He's got the gold, he's got the relics in these monasteries. An attempt for an outpost is going to be failing. Crackety killing some more vills of Nesta B. Nesta B has a current, what's that, 24 villager lead. I mean, yeah, it's definitely looking good for Nesta B. He's keeping up the pressure as well. He's going to age 3. Let's see what he ages up with. He ages up with a culture wing. He's going to be able to get in the preservation of knowledge. Definitely a good upgrade to get. And now we see knights coming out. Uh-oh, this could be bad for Crackety. Crackety needs to build up a bit more of a mass. I mean, these Landsknechts shouldn't do too bad, especially with the men-at-arms in there doing some tanking. We do see lots of outposts now down for Nesta B. More villagers being lost here for Crackety. Crackety just losing so many villagers this game. And I'll say it again. Outposts. Outposts are still so damn broken. Like, especially Holy Roman Empire, if you can garrison a relic inside of it. Like, you can garrison villagers, stick one here. Garrison your villagers, garrison your relic. I really think in a few weeks when the meta starts to evolve, we'll just see Holy Roman Empire just spam outposts, whether it's in base, mid map, or even offensively. I think it would just be so damn good because you still get the bonus from the Regnants. I really think it will be that good that you'll see them everywhere on the map. Especially with the changes to the keeps. Keeps are just kind of trash now. Because keeps now cost stone to repair. Which, sure, more accurate, sure. However, keeps are now rubbish because they cost so much to repair. When you could just build an outpost and repair it with wood. And outposts are so good as well. Like, sure, the Springald emplacement's been nerfed. But it's still crazy. Anyway, we see Crackety moving out now. This palisade wall has not been constructed for Nesta B. Quite a few of them still haven't been constructed. I think he's only got one villager building these walls. Which, definitely interesting there. Crackety going to be moving out with 7 men-at-arms and 4 Landsknechts. That is not going to be enough to deal with this. Crackety's going to be losing all of his army right here, that's for sure. There's no way he can take this. He's got some Landsknechts in there, but it's not enough. Yeah, this is a complete clean-up. Crackety, this is not looking good for you. Nesta B is going to be able to just attack move Crackety's base. He's got a massive open spot right here that he cannot wall up because of these 2 outposts. Crackety doesn't have much of an army left. 4th relic now in. Crackety's doing a good job with the relics. He's going to have 8 relics equivalent. He's finally deciding to stick this relic inside of the outpost, I'd expect. Please just do it for the other 3 now. But we'll definitely have to see how that pans out. And now the sacred site's going to be taken for Nesta B. The last relic actually remains here. Crackety might be able to go for that, but he's not, you know, with this amount of pressure going on. Crackety manages to wall this off. But this could be bad. There are lots of villagers over here. Crackety running some of these villagers away. Got the 1 HP villager over there. And this third town centre that is now become the second town centre is going to be going down. STB now controls the sacred site. Get out your timers. 10 minutes on the clock. Going to be at the 30-minute mark when this sacred site does finish. Let's see if he manages to keep it for 10 minutes. Emergency repairs now coming out. Crackety does have some spearmen, but I don't think this is enough. I mean, he's got quite a lot, to be fair. Especially with the TC fire. But more damage being done right here. Oh, please, Crackety, please. The Springleton placements. You know, the amount of damage that would have been done here. I'm saying this way too much, but I do genuinely think that Holy Roman Empire outposts are going to become, like, busted. I really do think that. I think Crackety should be able to hold here. He's got Lance Connects, he's got Veteran Spearmen. Nestby only has Hardened Spearmen. Town Centre Fire helping out as well. This Prelate going to be healing up this Lance Connect. One Lance Connect remaining. Yeah, clean up. Not too bad right there. Oh, but Crackety losing so many more villagers. And now Nestby going to be going up to age 4. Going with the military wing. Not deciding to go with the trade wing. I mean, yeah, why would you go for the trade wing? There's no market. Anyway, Crackety, look at the amount of gold he's sitting on. I mean, he's got 800 relics worth at the moment. Not 800. He's got 8 relics worth that's producing him 800 gold. So we can see here, look, 600 gold from 6 relics, 200 gold from 1 relic. Get these relics in towers, trust me. You know, I'm thinking Holy Roman Empire Fast Castle into towers with relics in at this central sacred site could be really nice. But we actually see a keep up for Nestby. He's grabbing in that boiling oil as well. I don't think this is looking good for Crackety. I mean, sure, the keep's kind of rubbish now, but it still does a good job defending when there's only a few units like this. Crackety's going to need to get up a trebuchet, and there's 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes, 7 minutes and a half left on the clock till that sacred site victory is completed. And Nestby is going to hit age 4 by that time. We do have 2 siege workshops coming up for Nestby. 30-ville lead as well for Nestby. He's definitely looking in a good eco position. He's going to have the tech advantage. He's got the sacred site, and he's going to have 2 keeps. And his army is looking pretty decent as well. This isn't looking good for Crackety at all. We do have a trebuchet now coming out. Definitely going to be able to drain Nestby of his stone, that is for sure. Especially with these repairs. More lance necks being pushed for Crackety. Definitely what you want when you got so much gold coming through. Be really nice to see if you got that third relic the 5th relic, sorry, as well. We hear some typing in the chat as well. Mangonel's now coming out for Nestby. Now Siege is actually kind of weak now. They've all had a health decrease. They also now all get affected by melee damage. So these lance connects are going to be able to do that area of effect on these guys, which is going to be really nice. We now see Nestby going to be going for that 3rd keep. He can get a 4th keep. The amount of stone this man is making is absolutely crazy. Nestby really committing here to this sacred site, and I think it's going to work. Lots of damage being done right here. The men-at-arms are coming out. I mean, Crackety, I think, should be able to wipe this army. The question is he going to be able to wipe these 2 keeps? Villagers being pulled here for Nestby. Really looking to... Well, he was going to commit to that keep, but I think it got cancelled, or it was destroyed by that counterweight trebuchet. But we now see a Culverin out, and the Culverin, I think, just going to be able to deny these trebuchets. You see that keep being placed now on this corner of the cliff. But I don't think this is going to be enough for Crackety. Nestby not actually pushing any units. He's got a couple men-at-arms in queue. Really surprised he's not got any more production down. He could just be spamming out men-at-arms at this point. Men-at-arms are probably the one thing you don't want versus Holy Roman Empire, but you know, probably mass some crossbow, mass some siege. We now have the Colvin coming through. Look at the damage put onto that trebuchet. STV has walled up this now. These mangonels are going to be doing some insane damage here. Look at the amount of damage going through onto those spears. Mangonels may not do as much damage towards melee units, but they still do an absolute ton of damage, and these keeps just going to be able to clean the rest of these up. The men-at-arms going to be helping out as well. 3 trebuchets are out for Crackety, but they're not going to be able to take down these keeps in time. 3 keeps are up. Crackety's army has been wiped, and there are 3 Culverin out that are going to be able to take care of these trebuchets anyway. I think this is going to be a good game, and there it is. Good game is called. Crackety, unfortunately, losing this one, despite the amazing changes to the Holy Roman Empire. Definitely needs to change this, though, with the Regnants. Putting those relics in the towers will definitely be handy. Anyway, if you did enjoy this, please do feel free to leave a like, and I will catch you guys in the next one.